Good morning, you guys. It is 8:49 on a Sunday morning. Oh man, I am not a morning guy. However, we're gonna start working on that. You get some rentals, you get some semi-passive income, and you get a little comfortable, a little lackadaisical, and you stop doing the hard things. Because you don't necessarily have to, right? When I was in survival mode, like maybe a lot of you guys, right, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to wake up, I have to go to work, I need this job, I need this paycheck, I got to do this, I got to do all these things I don't want to do because I have no other choice. When you start to have a choice, that's when it gets dangerous, you guys. That's when you might, even me, where I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to wake up early in the morning on a Sunday to go look at a property, but I'm going to do it because every time I walk a property and make an offer is another chance for me to, one, help a seller. Most importantly, remember, your number one job as a real estate investor is to help sellers out of difficult situations. So that's first and foremost. And if you come in with that attitude of like, hey, I just want to help you, even if you don't get paid, right? Let's say you just connect them with the seller and you make nothing. That person's going to remember you because you took care of business. That buyer's going to remember you because you hooked them up when there was no financial gain for you to do otherwise, right? Real estate, you refer them to real estate agents, you refer contractors and say, hey man, if you just do the flooring, you can list this and get way more. I got a flooring guy, right? So there's all kinds of different ways for you to help sellers, and it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to make money every time. But I always try to do my very best to make a buck if I can. And one of those things is a lowball cash offer, which 99% of people will say no to. And then a terms creative offer, which it takes, again, it's a 95% of people say no to that. The 5% of people are people who don't need the money right now. And those are typically investors, landlords, a second home type situation, right? Where they don't need the money to go buy another property. So that's one of the things that I'm actually doing right now is I'm going to Welches, Oregon, and we're going to some type of golf resort or something like that. And this guy owns a property free and clear, and it's his second home. And he's getting older, doesn't really need it, not so old that he has to have all the money right now, right? Because I said, hey, do you just want to be cashed out? What are you going to do with that money, right? Like, I mean, are you going to go travel the world? And he's old enough where he's not going to do that. So this is kind of like an ideal avatar, second home, doesn't need all the money, right? Not gonna sell his primary residence and go travel the world. So here we are at the Mount Hood Oregon Resort, and we're gonna go walk a property. So I'll be taking some pictures and videos. My understanding is a pretty nice house, and you need to be looking for people who have problems that you can solve, right? Being cashed out, would create financial problems for this guy because it's not his primary residence for 2 of the last 5 years. So there's financial consequences to that. It's a second home. He doesn't really need it anymore, right? So it's just sitting here most of the year unoccupied. So let's see if we can add a little bit more housing stock to the community here, the supply, and let's see if we can make a deal. All right, you guys, happy Sunday. Go get it.